Hello everyone, my name is Mohsen Ali and welcome to Global Scope News. Today we are going to discuss a very important issue that's shaping the political landscape in the United States right now. But before we start, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and helps us to continue bringing you in-depth analysis on the world's most critical issues. Now, let's dive into today's topic. Kamala Harris' strategy to win Arab and Muslim voters amidst controversy in the world of politics. Every vote counts. As elections approach, candidates are always looking to win over different groups of people. One such group that has been getting a lot of attention recently is the Arab and Muslims community in the United States. With the ongoing conflict between Israel and Gaza, this community has been very vocal about their concerns. In particular, many Arab and Muslim voters feel disappointed with the US government's unconditional support for Israel. The US Vice President Kamala Harris, who is also running for president, has been trying to gain the support of Arab and Muslim voters. However, this has proven to be very difficult because of her strong backing of Israel. So, the big question is, can Kamala Harris successfully win over Arab and Muslim voters despite her pro-Israel stance? It's a question mark. In this analysis, we will take a detailed look at her approach, the reactions of the community, and the larger impact this could have on the election. To fully understand the context of this issue, we must first look at the long standing relationship between the United States and Israel. For decades, the US has been a key ally of Israel, providing billions of dollars in military aid each year. This relationship is not new. It has been built over many years by both Democratic and Republican administration. This close alliance has always been a point of contentions for many Arab and Muslim Americans who feel that US support for Israel has come at the expense of the Palestinian people. This context is important because it helps us see why Kamala Harris' support unwavering support for Israel is such a big issue for Arab and Muslim voters. As Vice President, Kamala Harris has continued the US policy of backing Israel even during times of conflict, such as the ongoing war in Gaza and Lebanon. This has led to a lot of frustration among Arab and Muslim communities who feel that their voices are not being heard in an effort to win over Arab and Muslim voters. Kamala Harris has been holding private meetings with community leaders. These meetings are meant to show that her campaign is listening to their concerns. However, many people in these communities are skeptical. They feel that these meetings are more about optics than real change. They worry that these meetings are just a way for the Harris campaigns to appear inclusive without actually addressing the real issues at hand. One of the key criticisms of these meetings is that they are often held behind closed doors with handpicked attendees whose identities are not made public. This has led some people to accuse the Harris campaign of being secretive and not truly engaging with the broader Arab and Muslims community. A good example of this is a recent meeting Harris had with Arab and Muslim leaders in Flint, Michigan. While this meeting was seen by some as a step in the right direction, others felt that it was more of a public relations move than a genuine effort to address the concerns of the community. Many people were disappointed that there was no real transparency about who was in the room and what was discussed. The role of Emgage, one group that has been actively involved in trying to bridge the gap between the Harris campaign and the Arab and Muslim community, is Emgage, a political advocacy group focused on empowering Muslim Americans. Emgage recently endorsed Kamala Harris despite the ongoing conflict in Gaza and Lebanon. This endorsement has sparked a lot of debate within the community, with some people seeing it's a necessary political move to prevent a Republican victory, while others view it's a betrayal of the community's values. Uh, Engage's endorsements of Harris is significant because it shows that despite her pro-Israel stance, there are still some groups within the Arab and Muslims community who believes that she is the better option compared to the Republican candidate. However, this endorsement has also been made with backlash. Many people in the community feel that Engage's decisions to support Harris ignores the suffering of Palestinian and Lebanese people affected by the Israeli military campaign. Community reactions The community reactions from Arab and Muslim voters have been mixed, to say the latest. On one hand, there are those who see Kamala Harris as the leaders of two evils, especially when compared to the possibility of a Republican president who might have even stronger pro-Israel policies. On the other hand, there are many people who feel that Harris' support for Israel is simply too much to overlook. One particularly strong voice of opposition came from Al-Basq, a Palestinian American activist, who criticized Harris' strategy as being out of touch with the reality of what Arab and Muslim voters want. Al-Bast argue that simply meetings with a few community leaders is not enough to address the deep concerns many people have about US foreign policy, particularly when it comes to Israel. Similarly, Hussein, a Lebanon's American political consultant, pointed out that many of these meetings are seen as formative He suggests that the Harris campaign is more focused on looking inclusive than actually making substantive changes to its policies. The Emgage committee highlights a key issue with Harris' outreach effort. The perceptions that these meetings are more about checking off a box than actually engaging with the community in a meaningful way. The impact on the election as the election closes, the question remains: will Kamala Harris be able to win the support of Arab and Muslim voters despite her pro-Israel stance? The answer is not clear. The answer is not clear cut. On the one hand, Harris' outreach efforts, coupled with endorsements from groups like Emgage, might help her gain some group with these voters. However, the deep frustrations and anger many people in these communities feels about US foreign policy could prove to be a major obstacle for her campaign. One thing is certain: the outcome of this issue could have a significant impact on the election. Arab and Muslim voters make up a sizable portion of the electorate in key battleground states like Michigan, where Harris has been focusing a lot of her efforts. If she is unable to win their support, it could cost her crucial votes in these states. On the other hand, if she manages to convince Arab and Muslim voters that she is the best option, it could give her the edge she needs to win. In conclusion, for that, Kamala Harris faces a tough challenges in trying to win over Arab and Muslim voters. Her strong support for Israel has allied many people in these communities, and her outreach efforts, while well intentioned, have been met with skepticism. However, with the election just weeks away, Harris is continuing to push for their supports. Whether or not she succeeds will depend on how well she can balance her pro-Israel stance with the demands of Arab and Muslims voters who are calling for a more just and balanced US foreign policy. So that's all for today's analysis. Thank you for joining me on Global Scope News. If you found this video helpful, please like, share and subscribe to Global Scope News for more updates. Until the next video, take care.